In this video, we're going to talk about hotel business-to-business sales, the challenges of the industry, but also how we got to where we are today. Hello and welcome to another Hotel Techie video. B2B sales encompasses any hotel sales where the hotel is not directly selling the rooms to the traveler or the consumer, but where an intermediary takes that role. This traditionally includes travel agents, tour operators, and wholesalers. But the lines are getting very blurry. Traditionally, you could differentiate between the merchant and the agent model, where in one, the guest would pay directly to the hotel and in the other to the intermediary. This is changing with the rise of online reservations and with the complete online transparency, as well as OTAs moving away from their traditional marketing place and connector role, as well as wholesaler moving into more dynamic models. The lines are getting very unclear. To shed some light on this topic and to discuss some approaches on how hotels can get closer and work more closely with travel agents without adding layers and layers of intermediaries, I've got some help from Enzo.
I'm Enzo Aita, I'm Vice President Supply International for Hyperguest.
And from Melanie.
I'm Melanie Sensicle and I'm the Managing Director of a company called Avenue 6 Travel.
Thank you very much for joining me. To start off, let's quickly talk about how we got to the point where we are today. Enzo?
Actually, this part of the industry, this part of the distribution was there since even before internet. GDS, for example, wholesaler. Internet it became a very important actor in our industry, and then suddenly arrived a company like Expedia, Booking, and so on. So they at some point had to compete with those big giants, and somehow they have to reinvent themselves, and as they had the power of the products, because they were initially contracting hotels and locked them in a very, very, very sophisticated contracting model, and at the same time they had the needs to go online somehow. No, they became at some point, as they have a huge amount of products, a point of reference not only for the final traveler. They start to have opened the door also to the OTA. So they had this power of having those very strong and locked contract with hotels, giving them the possibility to easily manipulate the markup and the price, the final price. In order to be more competitive, they have created a lot of chaos and a lot of complexity in the distribution.
The rise of the internet, the large OTAs, and completely transparent and new direct travel booking options led to some of the players in the market abusing their very restrictive contracts from the past, which led to hotels losing complete control over their sales and inventory. Why did the same trend not lead to the end of travel agents? If I can book fast, easy, transparent online, why still work with a travel agent?
Travel agents are definitely still relevant, and I would suggest that the pandemic has made them even more relevant. It is a question of trust, it's a question of time, and I think it's a question of confidence. And I think over the last few years, people's confidence has been damaged, and the travel agent, with their knowledge and their expertise, can provide that confidence. And there are some territories, some countries where culturally people rely on travel agents and tour operators much more heavily than in others. They want to put forward their wish list, hand it to somebody else. They're time poor, they're busy people, and they want somebody else to take the hard work out of it for them.
Let's jump back to the hotel's perspective. What specifically are the issues when it comes to the current approach to B2B sales for hotels?
Increasingly, hotels do not want to give an allocation to a travel agent or a tour operator. It's fixed price. It doesn't take account of any changes in the marketplace, and they want to be able to dynamically price. They want to manage their yield effectively.
Margin is the first problem. Hotel is paying for this customer acquisition cost a very high value, and the travel agent is earning a little money. Imagine many intermediaries in the middle of this booking path, and each of them they have to get their revenue, right? Let's say between 20 and 30% commission. The travel agent is making the booking, is earning 5%, 12%. It's very hard to sustain this business financial model. The other big problem is the rate leakages. As there are a lot of middlemen in the middle of this booking part, each of them they try to mark up, they try to modify the rates, manipulate the rates, and at the end, so I'm an hotel, I gave these rates to this wholesaler is giving my rates and inventory across B2B and B2C. I'm a tour operator, I'm a travel agent, or I'm an OTA, I go to the hotel and that's my condition. You have to work with me, you have to give me this commission, you have to give me this allotment, you have to give me those release and those restriction, no restriction. So at the end of the day, I'm the product, I'm an hotelier, I am the product placement here. So, and I have to agree on your condition.
So reduced profitability, wrong rates, incorrect data online. Clearly the B2B space has some challenges for the hotels, but how does the other side look like? Are travel agents happy with the status quo?
What we've done is we've sat down effectively with our trade partners, and what they told us was that they felt very proud of the personal service that they provide, the ability to provide tailored and bespoke packages, but it was very time consuming and very costly. They would be searching the internet for an accommodation provider that meets the customer's needs. They may not have a contact, so they will be searching the internet, they will be using other intermediaries to source that product. Then they will either be booking it through that other intermediary, but they will be paying very high commissions, and that eats into their profit margin.
The seller, which is the accommodation provider, the hotel in Barcelona, and the bookers, the travel agent, the one that actually is getting this, producing this booking, they have to go through those long layers of intermediaries. There are different technology pieces, different intermediaries, and each of them they have to eat on the revenue.
So clearly for travel agents, the system is not working perfectly either, and they could clearly benefit from a more direct connection with hotels. So what are the specific solutions you're offering to bring that demand and supply closer in our industry?
What we do is we help travel agents and tour operators to source and book products that they couldn't necessarily find in the general marketplace. And we do it through a system that automates as much as possible the process and helps them to do it quickly and effectively for their customers. Products on our Trade Extranet are curated. They're curated in response to what our tour operators and travel agents tell us they are looking for and what they are confident that their customers are looking for, so that they can be confident they can sell it. So we interact with our trade partners on a very, very regular basis. But we also support suppliers such as hoteliers by introducing them to our network of tour operators and travel agents. And essentially we're trying to help them work together profitably by being the intermediary and providing them with tools and facilities that enable them to work together harmoniously. We are focusing on the FIT, fully independent travel, and small groups. What we do is we say, here are some fantastic properties, and you can access real-time availability, real-time pricing, and you don't have to wait for a response. You can be sure that it's available. Because we connect directly through their channel manager and into their property management systems, they can be sure that they are able to manage their yield dynamically through us.
Avenue 6, a curated digital platform facilitating the connection between hotels and travel agents for specific routes and destinations. Cool. And Enzo, how is Hyperguest approaching this? How are you changing the industry?
What is the difference? First, we are not an intermediary. As I said, we are a piece of technology and we are working more like an extension of connectivity. So with this unique connectivity with Hyperguest, the hotel is able to potentially distribute to hundreds different type of point of sales in the world, which are categorized by travel agent, DMC, closed user group, tour operator, and so on. So the way they can distribute is divided in two ways. They can have, let's say, the marketplace approach. So they don't need a pre-contracting. So if they have room to sell, they send us rates and inventory. we make this real time available to any travel demand connected with us. You don't have any commitment. The hotel can decide at which condition they want to sell. Differentiate also the commission if they want. I want to give you 10%. I want to give it to this tour operator 20%. They can have a specific condition or a better commission to all the travel agent based, I don't know, in Northern Europe, in Norway, or for example, in France. They can also have a different type of relationship, which we call it e-contracting. Maybe the tour operator is happy to have this direct relationship. The hotel is happy to have this kind of bookings from this tour operator. In case a problem, they can immediately go the day after or 5 minutes after to in our marketplace, select this demand partner and switch it off. Without opening a ticket, without asking permission, they just go there, switch that off, done.
Hyperguest, a modern technology solution focusing on transparency and control for the hotel on his sales to facilitate and to connect supply and demand more easily in a digital way. Thank you, Melanie and Enzo, for sharing. The hotel B2B space is quite complex, and I think it's easy to lose control, but I really encourage every hotelier out there to think more closely about this potential segment for your property and make sure that you don't miss out on a great opportunity just because of the complexity today. Obviously, I also encourage you to reach out to Enzo or Melanie if you're interested and you want to check out their solution for your hotel. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.